Good afternoon, Miguel here with the Winston Minute, our report at the market's close. And today, more of the same. We're now on the third or fourth day of low delta markets from beginning to end. Some volatility in between days, in between open and close, but every day has been sort of a return from the major U.S. indices of 10 basis points, between 0 and 30 basis points every day. Sorry, not even 30. Like 20 basis points every day, but apparently for the past 3 days it has been in a distinctive downward slope. So now we've seen, impressionable decline in U.S. equities. Now, why are we reacting? Geopolitical risk. It feels like a crutch term, but like I've been mentioning in previous Winston Minutes. We have these flashpoints all over the place. We have them in Venezuela, we have them here in the States with Trump and developments with potential accusations. We have them with Brexit in Europe, then China and US negotiating, and then I suppose the North Korea and US negotiation or summit is important as well. And then, if I didn't mention it already, Venezuela and Latin America. So a lot of trigger points that touch on oil markets, touch on major currencies, touch on equity markets, both across Europe and US, touch on the fixed income market. So we've got a lot of these trigger points, and it sort of makes sense that the market is a little bit gloom and doom. Now, the dollar climbed, and then we saw treasury yields increase as well. So that's sort of equity markets for now. But we also got the GDP data today, right? We saw some strong indication that the economy is effectively growing, and it cooled less than people were sort of anticipating or at least talking about. I myself was guilty. I've always been a pessimist of the bull markets of the past, definitely all of 2018 and going into this year. I've just been maybe not a pessimist or unhappy about it, but I've been waiting for that distinctive decline. I thought I got it towards the end of last year, but we're still doing well, and the GDP report is indicative of that. Really calmed some people down, so that's great to hear. We saw WTI raise about 50 basis points today in price at 57.2 per barrel, and gold fell just by the same amount, down to 1,313 an ounce. That's all I see. Now, any individual things that caught my eye? Not much, except for SoftBank's Vision Fund, including a 1.5 billion investment in Chinese used auto market or trader business called Xiehuaduo Group, in my best Chinese, placing another major bet on the Chinese auto market, the world's largest auto market, I believe, and probably soon to be the world's largest used auto market, if it isn't already. I always like to look at the SoftBank investments when they make headlines, because I sort of just kind of connect the dots, and that tells me their story. Very interesting. The last dot I remember seeing was that they had rejected WeWork, who had tried to raise some more funding from them. They're already an investor in WeWork, and they turned them down. I think WeWork was asking for like $1 billion. So interesting to see sort of take a step back away from WeWork and that real estate play, and more dive deeper into Vision Fund, which isn't really news in and of itself. Vision Fund being the largest tech fund out there of its kind. So that's not really that important, but it's just good to take those headlines in succession and connect the dots and try to see SoftBank's story. So that's all I really have for the day. Catch up with Fabian tomorrow morning, and once again at the